Previously on Redbeard's Garage.
Bearings busted up?
Yeah, bearings busted. That's why I was scared.
Yeah, that thing was murdered.
So we're back on the old twin ski cylinder. Twin cylinder. It's twin engine. So we're back on the old twin engine go-kart. We got a bunch of stuff to do to this thing. We got some parts in the mail, so we'll be putting some new good parts on it. So the biggest thing, we're going to pull these engines off. We're going to remove the governors out of them. I hate the throttle fill with the governor. It is garbage. So both governors will be removed, and we also have to cut off the mechanical brakes that we welded on this thing because we're putting the Go Power Sports 3-piece brake kit for 150. We actually have that on there right now, but we blocked off the rear caliper line. So what I'm going to do is just pull that system off, put a brand new one on, just so we know there's no air in the system, and start from scratch. So we're going to start off by loosening those chain tensioners and the engines and pulling these engines. And I need to do a different gas line. The screen gas line's pretty cool, but it gets stiff as plastic. You can hear that. So what I'm going to do is take some regular gas line from Napa, some 3/16 stuff, and I'm going to come straight off the tank, and I'm going to zip tie it around and make it look all nice and neat. And I might even run a pulse pump off each engine. I haven't decided yet. So grab some tools and take them engines off. Alright, we have some 9/16 bolts and nuts. Son of a gun. What do we put those things on with? Okay, that one's on there for life. Where you at? Where are you? Need a deep well. Old Stanley coming in clutch. What? Can you hear me that, dear? Got one. Bam. I was thinking we hadn't removed the low oil pressure sensor, but we had done it. 2 more bolts left. What in the world? The Sam Hill. There we go. Now, oh, there we go. There's one chain. So both engines are loosened up now. Chains are off. So now we just got to pull off the throttles on both sides. Should have used a shorter screwdriver, but you know, it's gonna work out just fine. So as long as everything goes right, we're gonna be taking this to a like a 3-acre field, 4-acre, somewhere around that. Just to test it out, give it a rip across this guy's property. Oh god, to see, you know, how good she runs opened up. Now is gas. What I'm probably going to do is drain that fuel tank, because I have a couple things. Well, I'm going to have to. I'm going to drain the fuel tank because I have some new lines to put on it. I'm going to probably use those same fuel filters because we've only rode this, what, not even an hour?
Yeah.
And I'm also, I got a a small breather to put on this to allow that to breathe.
Is that what a breather does?
Well, this is going to be somewhat of a doozy. That's actually a puncture right there. They're vice grips, which are absolute trash. Okay. Alright, okay, that's
Looks like
not.
you got a problem.
That's not.
Oh gosh. This could be disastrous.
How's the family, man? Them kids growing up still? Them kids are growing up. I seen that boy yours playing baseball the other day. He's a character, ain't he? And it's got a little weight to it. Probably not good to be picking up your motor by your header either.
That's what I was thinking.
There we go. Done. So the sucky part of this whole ordeal is pulling this axle. We're probably going to leave the engine section hooked up to the frame and just unbolt it, slide everything out, but it's not really that fun. So we're going to start. Oh my goodness. So we're going to start with this one. Okay. I'm going to be putting 50-pound springs, valve springs in these motors, and just removing the governor. We already got the carb jetted, the open air filter, and the header, but we are going to be header wrapping this and trying the black high temperature paint on these mufflers. We might try it on new mufflers because those are already rusted. Nah, we'll stay in those. Just quit being a baby. Goodness.
I feel like we should side note allergy season. You keep sucking snot up.
Yeah, for everybody that's probably getting tired of hearing my sniffles, I got allergies. It's allergy season. So you are going to have to deal with that. These Duramax engines come with this plate where, you know, Predators and stuff have a casted ear. Well, the good thing about this is the ARC top plate will actually work perfectly fine on this. We just got to put some spacers in between these ears and the throttle plate. So I'll be showing you how to do that here in a spell. But first, we have to get a couple more tools, and we can pull the side, drain the oil, pull the side cover, and we're gonna pull the valve train, the head, all this junk. And I'm gonna be shaving all this junk off here because I'm running the ARC top plate, so we won't need to worry about none of this for our throttle mechanism. Now, look how clean it is. Goodness. So yeah, you always have that nasty sludge in a new engine, always.
Somebody asked the other day about black oil on a new engine.
See this right here? That's what you want to get out of your engine, because that's like something left over from the manufacturing process. And on this engine, I am going to leave the balance shaft just to see how it feels with it left in. On the 420 when I built it, I removed it. You'll find threads that say leave it, pull it out. But really, you know, it don't matter. You can leave it or pull it out. Get that governor. Make sure to get that washer, by the way. You can see I got a rag in there to catch all my shavings. Alright, now we have a 3/8 bolt. basically, after I drill it out to 11-30 seconds, it'll tap its own hole. You know, there's a little dangerousness to this, but you know, we're just rolling with it. So we use a little red Loctite, put that 3/8 bolt in there, and we use the washer because there's like a little lip in there that a seal sets in. And normally I leave the seals, but these engines actually don't have it, which is really weird. You can see that paper towel I put in there captured all that metal debris. We can throw that away actually, and I'm just going to make sure any pieces of metal, you can see really fine aluminum dust right there on my nice beautiful modeling hands. I mean, there was even metal in the bottom of the engine when I pulled this apart. So we're going to be pulling the cam out later on and seeing if a Honda GX390 cam will work, as well as a rod, because I'd like to put a billet rod and the 275 cam or maybe the 308 cam in these. That would be awesome. It'd be sweet to send the whole rotating assembly, which is the crankshaft and the rod, and get it balanced so we can remove this balance shaft and have smoother engines. That's just going to be more performance in the long run. Look at that, how easy that was. So basically, I just hit on one side with a flathead and bent that ring, and now sometimes it sucks to get out after wallering it with a hammer. But you can see, pops out. But anyways, Dennis at Go Kart Alley had messaged me and said that he was trying to figure out how to get the governor off, and he didn't just want to whack it with a hammer and screwdriver. After watching a bunch of videos, he found mine, seen that I whacked it with a hammer and screwdriver, and tried it, and it worked perfect. Don't forget to get the washer off that sits behind it. His text message is actually on screen right now. We're going to slap this axle off real quick. We got, how many flanges? 1, 2, 3, 4.
The number of the day is 4.
And then all the collars on the bearings. So we're going to drop it. Yeah. Oh yeah. So we're going to drop it so we can get these calipers off, cut the brackets off, and then take the disc off. And we're going to put the single hydraulic. We'll have to fab up some type of bracket like I did on the 3-wheeler.
I thought I got the quiet hammer.
Alright, so we got everything pulled off. We got those 2 mechanical disc brake rotors off. Now we can put this thing back together, get it all spaced out and all that jazz. Alright. Come from the inside. Oh gosh.
What about cold? 7, 9, 16.
That's 7 and 9/16.
Okay, that's where we'll put it.
Ah!
Center down right there.
It's kind of hard to see what they are.
It's gussets from Go Power Sports. What do you think they are?
Alright, so I went and got some coupler nuts from the hardware store, and basically I've got a way too long of a bolt in there for now, but we're going to weld this coupler nut on the bottom side of this tubing that we just tacked in there, and then we'll later can get a bead on each side of it and maybe even put a gusset on it, who knows. And then we got to build something to go down to this bottom bracket. I don't know what we're going to do. We'll figure that out when we're done. So I'm going to hold this in place. I don't know how Brandon's going to get in there to weld that son of a gun. So now we got to figure out, while that's tacked, how we're going to do the bottom. We'll come back and see you then. What is going on? Is it welded to itself? How does that make you feel?
Not good. If that camera went down, I'd probably be crying right now.
Oh, that's sad.
What you get for welding galvanized?
It's classy stuff. It's strong. It's good for you.
It smells great. It does smell like bacon.
Yeah. Death bacon. Fire in the hole.
Try again here.
What are you doing? Well, I've been trying to mess with this welder for the last little while. It's spitting, and we don't know why. At first, it was making a really bad grinding noise, like almost like the transformer's about burn up in it. This welder's old. I bought it secondhand for $150. It's a 110 Lincoln Weld Pack welder and argon gas. I converted it over to gas. It's been a good welder, but we messed with this for the last few days trying to get it running. I could send it off and get it fixed, but it's not really worth it. It would cost a couple hundred to get it fixed, and this welder's only like $350, $400 new. So we're going to be replacing it today, sadly. So now I got to get all my wire out of it. So what I'm going to do with this welder is actually give it to my old brother, and he's going to see if he can get it fixed for a decent price. Who knows? It might be able to get fixed for $100 and he'll have a good deal in it, but the thing kicks off on us constantly. It's not made for what we're doing. So it's time to upgrade to a 220 MIG welder. I did not want to have to buy this right now, but we've been planning on buying a new welder this year anyways. You know. Yeah, we're at a standstill without a welder. So this is a 220 welder, which is going to be a massive upgrade. The duty cycle is 30% at 130 amps maybe. Who knows?
It smells terrible.
Yeah, it don't smell too good. Well, you remember at the first of the video when I said if everything works out right, then we'd be riding this thing. So as long as everything goes right, we're going to be taking this to like a 3-acre field, 4-acre. Well, it didn't. So after the old Lincoln died, I looked up a few forums, see if I could fix the welder. I don't know what it's doing, but it kicks duty cycle all the time. When we welded out the twin engine frame, that duty cycle kicked in about 6 times just welding this tubing. That's ridiculous. You know, we're always constantly kicking this thing off. So I contacted Everlast because they're good about sponsoring channels. I want to see if we can get a price break on them, on a welder, and review it on the channel and have us a really nice welder for cheaper, or even sponsor the channel with a free welder. With YouTube, that's the kind of things you do. Didn't get a hold of anybody, and I'm antsy person. So I was like, okay, screw it. I'm just going to go buy a Hobart from a local Rural King. I'm going to buy the 190 because it can also have the spool gun, which allows you to MIG aluminum. So I called them because online said they didn't have any stock. And I was there the day before and I seen that they did have them in stock. So I was like, well, what's the deal here? So I called them. They said, yeah, we got one in stock. So went down there. As I'm buying the Hobart, Everlast calls me and says, hey, you need to talk to this guy. I don't know if you'll get a hold of him, but try him. I think he'd work with the channel. I was like, okay. So tried to call the guy. He didn't answer. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to buy this Hobart, go home and finish my welding. And if Everlast hooks us up, we'll see what we can do with this Hobart. So get it home. As you notice in the top of the box, there was no lead. Someone had bought this welder, stole the lead out of it, and took it back to the Rural King. And that's why it said there wasn't any in stock. Still showing that was a sold welder. So that Rural King was super nice. They worked with me. They gave me a lead out of the Hobart 140 welder. The leads in the picture looked exactly the same. Well, since the 190 can have the spool gun attachment, it has a 4-prong connector. The 140 does not have a spool gun attachment, so it has a 2-prong. And I wasn't about to cut and rig up a brand new welder. So I took it back. It took 3 to 5 days, they said, before I'd get my $760 back that I spent on this Hobart welder. By the way, Hobart's made by Miller. They're really good welders, but their duty cycles are a little low. But it would have worked out great for us. So Everlast, this all happened on Friday and Saturday. I took the welder back on Saturday, extremely frustrated. We're leaving for Texas on Tuesday. So I'm like, good gosh, this twin engine isn't going to be done. Everlast calls me on Monday and they sold me the MTS, which is a MIG TIG stick combo. You can't TIG aluminum because it's a DC only welder. I believe I'm correct on that. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's a 211 SI. So 220's got a crazy good duty cycle. I think at like 210 amps, it's got a 40% duty cycle. At like 190, it's got a 60. And like anything under 140, it's got a 100% duty cycle. So an awesome welder. I watched amazing reviews about the thing. So we bought that thing for $500 shipped from them. Awesome deal. They cut it more than 50% off for us to help us out with help the channel out. So the way Everlast wants you to do it, they want to sell you a welder. They don't want to give you one for free because they're afraid you'll say their welders are good and they're not. They want you to give your true unbiased opinion, and to me that shows what kind of company they are. That's awesome. I mean, I didn't want to spend $500 on the welder, but I got a crazy good deal. I'm more than happy to spend $500 on that welder. So it is actually getting delivered today. So in the next video you'll see the new Everlast welder. I am getting pumped to use it because I've been back from Texas for 4 days now. No, 5 days. And I've been editing non-stop. So I'm ready to get back out here and get to working on this thing. So stay tuned to see this thing running very soon. We got to put the front end parts on it, the brakes, and do some wiring. And then we'll be skedaddling on it. Guys, have a great day and God bless. Redbeard's Garage is powered by GoPowersports.com. GoPowersports has a huge amount of awesome go-kart and mini bike parts, and when making your purchase, use the Redbeard discount code in the upper right-hand corner of your shopping cart to grab yourself a sweet deal. Hit that subscribe button and make sure the notification bell is on so you'll never miss another episode, and go check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest to stay up to date with the channel. Guys, always come back to Redbeard's Garage. I'm out.